You ever looked at new League of Legends skins and thought, oh yeah, these surely don't only exist just to fill out a TFT trait down the road? Besides one clear notable exception, I wasn't the biggest fan of Broken Covenant even back when it first released. 3 years ago, what? Though I did think it had room to expand upon its stained glass vampire hunter aesthetic, yet seeing it return all these years later has been pretty lackluster to say the least. Thankfully though, High Noon is back as well. Never thought I'd say that sentence. In a small enough dose, it's actually refreshing to see again, with both chosen champions being wonderful picks for the skin line, and overall a pretty great first choice for our brand new champions launch skin. Some overall decent skins that all help to mask the mediocrity of the MSI skins. Wait, what? Yeah, if it wasn't evident enough, I don't really care much for these, so let's just start with Broken Covenant Shen. You cold or something there, buddy? Your sword's looking a little bit smaller than usual. In theory, this should have been incredible. Shen is a Templar Knight of the holiest, well, I guess more chaotic in this context, order, glammed out with all the majestic stained glass murals his shields could supply. In reality, he's the first one I'm covering in this video because I legitimately forgot he even existed until I was halfway done writing the second draft of this script.
Where did you come from?
Did the splash art feel the same way? Why is he so far in the distance compared to everyone else? You can move forward a little bit, right?
Plenty of room!
It's not like Shen isn't already subject to a plethora of remarkably surface-level cosmetics, but this might be the most forgettable, most NPC he has ever looked. NPC in this context, of course, standing for No Pal.
I don't care!
Turquoise is the best chroma, 4 out of 10. Broken Covenant Jin. Yes, turns out the head of the church is actually a murderous, inhuman psychopath LARPing as a zealot. How subtle.
I know writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards.
The idea of Jin as a fanatical cult leader does admittedly complement his dramatic flair quite well, and acts as a nice inverse of his usual, performing mostly from the shadows demeanor, plus the nice details like the one frame of glass on his shoulder being knocked out to ensure there's only 4, and the music playing during his ult. It's all good stuff, but only good for Jin is failure. I mean, if we were still in like 2019, it's not really the case anymore. I miss when every single skin he got was a 10 out of 10. Obsidian is the best chroma, 1.75 times 4 out of 10. Broken Covenant Aurora. Wow, this is nothing. Do people actually like this? Disregarding the wholly lackluster ultimate, I more mean that besides the WoW exclusive, which we damn know what the intention was there,
Money.
why does every single Aurora skin thus far feel so directionless, so terrified to twist her design motifs even at least a little bit? Like, guys, experiment with the headwear besides a witch's hat. Her ears and tail do not always need to resemble that of a rabbit. It is not mandatory that the skull squishers must be visible regardless of how much it clashes with the skin line's theming. In fairness, Aurora has and always was one specific Rioter's passion project OC Do Not Steal. It's why she still doesn't even feel like a League of Legends champion, but that vibe, for lack of a better word I suppose, is what's created the passionate fanbase she now has. So Riot, if all you can come up with is glorified chromas, either get Aurora's original designer to be the lead consultant in all of her skins moving forward, or just swallow your pride and hire the fan artists that clearly care about this champion far more than you do. The 2B resembling one is the best chroma, 2 out of 10. High Noon Akshan.
How interesting.
Setting aside how in the time since Akshan's last skin, Vex Cop 4, in Wild Rift, this has technically existed since his inception as one of the scrapped concepts for his original launch skin. The one I wish they'd picked, honestly. What a shock, adding an actual gunslinger to High Noon fits it far more naturally than forcibly melding a rifle into a sword for the 10th time.
What have you done?
And I really like how it recontextualizes his lore of trying to save Shadia, in this instance absolutely refusing to give up until he brings her back from the dead. That being said, yeah, the scoundrel indicator definitely should have been a wanted poster. I cannot fathom why they gave him the stupid Injustice 2 Superman ass-looking chin strap.
Ugly.
And worst of all, admittedly it did kind of look cooler 5 years ago.
Ugly.
Cat's Eye is the best chroma, 7.5 out of 10. High Noon Luck. Pretty ironic the whole using demon powers to kill more demons but slowly corrupting and turning you into a demon yourself is visualized infinitely better here than it is in his League design. It gives him immediate visual distinction from the usual black and occasional blue of the other High Noon outlaws, while also making good use of his existing features, the coffin as his artifact, the ash on his cape turning into carpeting flame. And of course, that if Locke's base design wasn't Dante knockoff enough for you already, well,
I don't understand a thing in this game, bro. This game has done nothing but just confuse me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand what's going on.
The thing about launch skins is that they're always tricky. I mean, the designers haven't really had the time to figure out what really works for the champion yet, but for now, this is generically cool enough that it should at least last him until he gets his first post-launch skin. Unless that's 2 years. Amethyst is the best chroma, 7.5 out of 10. Altogether, Cowboys and Aliens gets a 5.5 out of 10. I mean, okay, look, I know they're not actually aliens, but try explaining to anyone outside of the league space what the hell that is. Those are just my thoughts. I may not be overly fond of these, but perhaps you are, so be sure to let me know down in the comments below as your feeble attempts to change my mind only fuel my power. Till next time though, fellas, have a swell rest of your week, and hopefully I will see you again in the next one.
Absolve me.